Hi, welcome to AFTV. Listen, a weekend of stress. I'm sure you're all feeling how I feel, very stressed. But it's the third Champions League game, so free us from the corruption, free us from the Shakhtar Donetsk. Free us from Shakhtar Donetsk. Welcome to the preview. Right, so it's...
Have we started it yet?
We've started. So it's Arsenal versus Shakhtar Donetsk at 8 p.m.
I don't know, what was the...
Because I feel stressed and stress. Free us from the Shakhtar Donetsk was the rhyming part, but also free us from this week. Just free
I thought
me
you were
from
playing on the whole shackles of something.
yeah, so free us from
the
shackles of. It's
not good.
Oh, I was gonna say it's not bad. All right, well, free us from the shackles was really of just stress. They're
I
getting
just realised
worse.
why my last few weeks have been so good. I haven't been on any previews.
But now
Fantastic.
you're back. Welcome. Right, 8 p.m. kickoff here at the Emirates Tuesday night. Third Champions League game. It's Arsenal versus Shakhtar Donetsk. When it's Arsenal versus Shakhtar Donetsk, the home team have always won in the past in the history of this competition. How are we feeling? Let's start with the feeling of obviously the fallout from the weekend. It's been a lot of uproar amongst the Arsenal community. James, where are you at coming into this game?
My word is agitated. I want to get on with it. I want to just, if I could hit a button right now that kicks off the game, I'd do it now.
Just forget the
we
weekend.
need
Go
to
straight
move
into
on. But also, it's moving on from Bournemouth, but it's come straight after the international break. So it's like 3 weeks since we've tasted a win. You know what I mean? It starts to feel like that. So it's just, I want to hit the red button, get straight into it. Hopefully we could put in a big performance here against Shakhtar Donetsk to get some just rhythm and momentum back in the legs of the players. And I actually think, and I know this is a Shakhtar preview, but this week has lined up perfectly, what with this fixture, but Liverpool. I want that game this
weekend. It's lined up perfectly, even with the Saliba not being available. I know we shouldn't be looking at Liverpool, but you still feel there's a chance for the team to respond.
We keep putting ourselves in adversity, face it and answer it then. You know what I mean? We've created these problems with these red cards, whatever, and I still think a lot of them have been harsh, but not the Saliba one for me. All right, now go and... Because a lot of people are still backing City to win the league without Rodri.
True.
So I want to know we can back ourselves to win a game without Saliba.
And they haven't got De Bruyne as well, and City are still getting through.
Right. So for me, I feel agitated and I want to get on with it. That's
agitated.
How I feel.
Thoughts and feelings ahead of Shakhtar Donetsk? Are you feeling agitated, or is there more of a different word, you'd use?
Listen, I was at the game with you
Yep.
on Saturday. It was very disappointing, the performance, the result, the lack of discipline. However, like James says, you have to put that behind you. A couple of big games coming up, starting with Tuesday. It is a big game, and we got to win. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, listen, I'll be completely frank and honest. I'm not a professional on Shakhtar Donetsk. I don't know abundance about them. I have done a bit of research on them as well. I watched the Atalanta game. I don't want to disrespect the side. I've got Laurie on the preview with me. You know how he says, don't ever disrespect the opposition. And to be fair, Bournemouth, I didn't disrespect them, but I also felt we was going to win that game. So I'm not going to disrespect them. But I must say, watching their extended highlights against Atalanta,
Yeah, they got smoked.
Oh my God, they lost 3-0. Defensively, they were just... Honestly, I watched it I couldn't believe the defending.
Atalanta must have been away for that game.
Yeah.
They did get a draw with Bologna.
They did. You're correct there. But Atalanta, I was going to come to you and ask you what you know about Shakhtar Donetsk, but I'm just going to give kind of what I know. They're yet to score a goal though, Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League. So,
Well, just a cursory look at their league will tell you that they're fourth in the Ukrainian league.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the biggest, if not the biggest side there. They won the cup in the league there last season. They have a decent European record. I mean, they have won competition. I think it's back in, not the Champions League. They won the Cup Winners' Cup, whatever, 2009-10.
They won their last 2 fixtures in their respected league. But again, for me, what does this mean? I can't, apologies audience, I can't give you context on what that means because the level from what I saw in some of the we should be winning the game.
To put it into context,
I don't want to push it too far out.
Me, you, Robbie, Julian, all the other guys, we were there congregated outside Bournemouth on Saturday and we were all saying 3s, 4s, whatever, and what happened? So that goes back to my point about not disrespecting teams, because I personally think part of the reason why we were so lacklustre against Bournemouth was because the players were a bit complacent. I honestly do think that.
I agree, but going into this...
So what I'm saying is we don't want to have that same approach with Shakhtar, especially after what happened at the weekend.
I agree with Laurie. There was something about the players. I don't think Arteta was complacent. I think he was the opposite. I think he was a little too conservative and a little too safe, maybe respecting them a bit too much. and they're a good side, Bournemouth. But with bringing Kivior on, I don't think you need to do that. I think he had plenty of solutions with what he had, with taking Sterling off, so that he probably had his most disciplined players defensively, but I think Sterling is your most exciting outlet. So I think he was a bit too conservative, but I actually agree with Laura. Look, conservative is not the opposite to complacent, but I think what the players showed, on the other hand, I said on Forever Arsenal, they look drunk on the pitch. They just look like, we've all played football on a Saturday after you've been out on the Friday night. It just felt like that a little bit from the players.
Like a bit hangover.
Just like, I can make that pass. Oh no, I've given it away.
Yeah.
Or knock it about. Oh, I'll just hit the channel. We might. Everything was just very like. There wasn't a zip to the passing. There wasn't an intensity on or off the ball. There wasn't a flair in the final third. And then there wasn't like and then we went down to 10 men. I mean, the errors, like Raya giving the ball away, like Saliba's red card, like Kivior with the pass back, and there are a few, Martinelli missing the chance. There's quite a few errors, right? But even when we went down to 10 men, I weirdly thought, well, this should surely shake us.
That's what I expected, a reaction.
And we still just looked very we'll just kind of go through the motions.
Yeah.
I was really surprised that, and you very rarely get that from this Arsenal team under Arteta. Even at our worst, I never really questioned commitment. I questioned the quality.
Yeah.
Yes, Saturday, it's something we rarely say about this team. They're a fantastic group of players who are, I think, mentally very sturdy, but they absolutely just look like they were going through the motions on that particular game. That was surprising to see.
It's funny.
Can I just say as well that I detected an air of complacency even during the warm-up. I was looking at the players as they were warming up. There's a lot of laughing, smiling, high-fiving going on. I was thinking, it's good in one way because it shows that the players are relaxed, but then you're thinking, you need to get your game faces on.
That's interesting. I didn't
I was saying to Cecil on the way down here that I detected a little bit of that in the warm-up.
It's funny because I think Bournemouth, like I said in the stats before, we always score 3 or more goals against them. I think the players might subconsciously will think this is a day out where we normally get a good result. So that does kind of buy into the complacency. And you speak about being drunk. I heard Curtis call Raya and nephew. He was on that. And I swear I was dying. But it was hilarious. But yeah, a drunk feel, I just think they weren't really up for it.
They did not look switched on.
Yeah.
And that was apparent from the opening minute. You mentioned Raya there. He was a prime example of what we were talking about. The way he was delaying, taking the kicks, looking around, almost as if is that air of almost... Well, complacency.
It's a shame, and I mentioned to Robbie, I said, like, we've been to away games, but that away performance I've never seen. I've never seen our team not either start fast or seemed up for the battle from the beginning. From minute one, I was like, there's a different feel of this game. But anyway, the reason we're kind of speaking on this so much because they can't have that same reaction come Tuesday night. That can't be what we see on Tuesday. And I question Arsenal's home performances anyway. I always think there's a mistake in them. They're a bit lackluster. I do not want to see that at all come Tuesday. I need a reaction, a bounce back, some sort of just... From minute one, you get the feeling when Arsenal will be playing well. I need to see that straight away because Shakhtar Donetsk, listen, not the greatest of opponents from what I've seen currently them in the Champions League. However, like we're sitting in 30th, they're in 27th, but it's the Champions League. So they need to be up for it. There needs to be some sort of big performance. Do you want to see... A response is what I want to see. Is that what you want to see as well? Do you want to see... an obliteration against Shakhtar Donetsk, or do you not expect? Is it just gonna? I just want to see a win. Where are you at, James?
Yeah, you can't lose 2-0 at Bournemouth, all due respect to Bournemouth, and start sort of sitting here going, having too much chess and saying I want 5s and 6s and anything else is unacceptable because the team have shown you that they've got a different side to them. Where, unfortunately, for all the amazing sides they've shown, there can be that game where they switch off and things don't go right. So first and foremost, 3 points, please. But what I really want to see from the team is rhythm and momentum again. And what I think is a touch disappointing for Arsenal this season because of the nature of the games we've had and then some of the red cards and then certain games like Southampton and Leicester, you can kind of point to every single game actually having been a stress in some way, shape, or form. Even Wolves, I mean, we were 1-0 up at home, but then, Raya has to make a wonder save, and in the second half you're thinking, we can't need that second, and Saka finds it. Even that wasn't completely straightforward. Leicester, we were playing some fantastic football. Suddenly it's 2-2. Yeah. Southampton, I thought we were pretty in control, and then we're 1-0 down. I think you want the most complete performance from Arsenal season was PSG here.
Correct.
So I'd quite like to just see Arsenal again. It doesn't have to be 5s or 6s, but just be composed, play your football, have control, and just look really switched on. Keep another clean sheet because we need to get that. We've conceded 8 goals in 8 games now. talk of our defence being what it is,
But in the Champions
can
League,
just be put on hold for a second now.
Champions League, we haven't conceded.
That's true. So, 3 points with something that feels controlled, convincing, and really professional. I don't think we're going to fly out to batter them because we have Liverpool. We'll be on the weekend, to be fair. That's Tuesday to Sunday. So there's a bit of a break there. So, yeah, that's sort of what I'm looking for more than professionalism.
Let's do this. Let's do our
focus.
Let's do our predicted 11.
Okay.
Let's do our predicted 11 because, and I will come to you, Laurie, for it to start with. But before I do this, I know I kind of sprung this on you. Have a think because obviously Saliba's available. He's available to play this game. He's not available on the weekend. Now that might throw up some questions of, do you want to? I heard Lee say I kind of want to show. I want to punish Saliba for what he did on the weekend by not starting him, but he also mentioned about, well, he's not going to be there against Liverpool, so maybe we play a back line that's going to be there at Liverpool and they get used to playing with each other. So as we come to predict 11, have a think of that. That midfield three, do you want to see it again? I think some people may argue that, like Robbie said, it's not a completely defensive midfield three. You know, Marina has played it in that 8 role before, so you might want to see that. It may work the second time round.
Can I say, Jurgen Klopp would make that midfield work. You know, with his more engine-like kind of midfield three, you know, a little bit of quality, a lot of box-to-box power, you know, very decent footballing ability across the three. It's just not Arteta's style. I have to, you know, I saw Lee on the live yesterday. In fairness, I don't think it's like the worst midfield three in the world you could put together. But it did feel very negative when you had Trossard as an option who's done well. That's my biggest issue with that.
That's the thing. Stick to it. If it's not,
the only thing I would say about that is that I hear what Lee's saying, but I didn't hear too many complaints when that team was run out.
No, that's what I'm saying. Lee wasn't before the game. He wasn't overtly against it either. Yeah. And I sort of know.
I was a bit.
Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but back to the 11.
Oh, let's go into it then.
I just wanted to say, just touching on something that James mentioned. I think first and foremost, I want to see some discipline back in the team. I want to see less unforced errors. I want to see less complacency. This is a very good team. However, we've been guilty this season on at least 3 occasions, namely Brighton, Man City, and against Bournemouth, getting players sent off when they didn't need to get sent off. Think of those sending offs. Not one of them was like a situation whereby...
A lot of them are dubious though. A lot of them can be quite...
No,
it's true though. Apart from the Saliba one, the Declan Rice one
these flat earth Arsenal fans, stop this. The whole world's out to get us. The
Declan Rice one is... you could argue
this
it, 100%.
This is so annoying, people. We got to stop this. The world's out to get us. The players made mistakes that got themselves sent off, right?
Yeah, the Saliba one.
You can look at the sending off of Salibas, and you can. And I actually put this in our group yesterday. Arsenal fans looking at that the incident in the Liverpool-Chelsea game will say, but that notwithstanding, we still got to maintain our discipline. We can't keep getting players sent off and then saying, but what about him? What about him?
But then it needs to be consistent, because then it does feel like it's always on Arsenal. I'm not saying it is. I think Saliba's one is a red card, but some of them can be questioned. I think a lot of things, even the Newcastle, this was last season, they're pushing it back, and of course we got the goal conceded. I think that was wrong mistake there. There was an elbow in that Newcastle game. There's a lot of referees' decisions. Even the Brentford, they didn't draw the lines. There's so many things I just think it's starting to annoy me, and I understand why Arsenal fans kind of can lean towards that side. Granted, discipline needs to be looked at, but there's consistency is not consistent throughout the Premier League and the refereeing in our games. It's frustrating.
Are you done?
I am done.
Right, okay. A lot of what you said is true.
100%.
But what I'm saying is the players have to take responsibilities for their actions. All 3 of those sending offs this season were avoidable, in my humble opinion. So what I'm saying is, if we're going to take a lesson, when it happened to Declan Rice, we all said, harsh. Let's learn the lesson.
Harsh.
When it happened to Trossard, harsh, let's learn the lesson. And it happened again on Saturday. So what I'm saying, if we are going to win major honours, whether it be in the league, Champions League, we've got to keep 11 players on the pitch, because keep going down to 10 is too much of a mountain to climb. That is what I want to see against Shakhtar. We have to keep 11 players on the pitch.
Well, it's a foreign referee in the Champions League. The refs are normally good, so it should be fine. Hopefully Trossard's brother is refereeing this game again. Anyway, let's go into Predict 11. Laurie, do you want to run through yours? Raya in goal, I'm assuming. Back line?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Okay,
back line?
Back line, well, I disagree with Lee. I think Saliba should play. This notion about him being punished on top of being punished, I don't really get.
But also he's preparing for the Liverpool game as well because he won't be there. He's saying put a back line that prepares him for that game. Which
can I say I agree with Lee on that?
Yeah,
only because Liverpool is such a stern test. To trial a centre-back partnership we haven't seen for like 2 years would be I'd feel very harsh. I would opt to play White at centre-back with Gabriel in this game. Okay. Just to get the minutes in there. And also, without opening this can of worms, I think Saliba, I love to bits. People think a really honest case. He made a mistake, and I love him, and I forgive him for it. But
I watched it back.
It was a bad error.
It was.
I think part of what he did, and almost the not that I don't say the punishment. It feels so harsh, but like, part of it is like, look, William, you should be starting this game against Shakhtar. But now I've got a problem on Sunday that I need to help address tonight. So, yeah, you're not playing for 2 weeks. Because you're not playing against Preston. So, he's kind of going to have to hold that, Saliba. I love him, but that's just kind of unfortunately the position that we're put in.
My only slight issue with that, James, is if we start effectively tinkering around with the team and then something goes wrong in the Shakhtar game, then we're starting to...
But at least we're learning for Shakhtar. Like, I'd rather it went wrong... Yeah. There's another 5 games after Shakhtar to fix things. I'd rather it went wrong in this game.
I wish he did the midfield for Bournemouth again in this game. I wish he did that.
I know what you mean, actually.
Bloody hell. Anyway, but okay, so you're going to go with Saliba.
I would still go Saliba. I take your point. You want to have a look, so you're thinking forward. But I think, my approach is normally each game as it comes, and I think this is an important game. We have to win, play your best available team. Okay, so Saliba's in that.
Saliba, Gabriel, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Fullbacks?
Now, that's a bit of a... Do we know the status of Timber?
We don't know.
I'm predicting he's okay.
He'll be available, I reckon.
But
you can just say if he's available. Who would you start? Who's the people that you'd start?
If he's available, I'd start him.
Which side?
Right.
Yeah, I'd go Timber right back and Calafiori left back. That's how I'd put the 11 together.
Yeah, let's do. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
With
midfield?
White centre back. I mean, the temptation is to go Kivior centre back and White right back if Timber's not available. But I really hope Timber is.
Yeah, so do I. And granted, I'm going to blend it between the Predicts 11 because we'll be here. Laurie's taking a while, so sorry. But you're right.
Hit him after this, Laurie.
I'm not gonna put Saliba to start, but I think if Timber's available, like you said, I think who would you put in your centre back pairing? There, would you put Ben White in there?
Yeah, White. Yeah.
Ben White next to Gabriel, and then.
It's interesting. In pre-season, I did ask Arteta on the. I had to plug that.
No, you did.
I asked him why he was playing White centre back, Timber right back, and he actually put that more to a fitness issue. And yeah, he mentioned that the combinations on the right, but with Ødegaard out and Saka we don't know, I don't think that's a concern. So yeah, I think he would go for White centre-back in this game with Timber right back.
Correct, so we have the same back line, me and you, James. Obviously Zinchenko's available, we probably will get some minutes. I think he won't start, but I think he'll get some minutes. Going to midfield, I'm going Rice, Marino and Trossard, but...
Partey was very good that first 30 against Bournemouth.
I completely agree.
I need him for Liverpool. Fully fit.
Well, anyway. That's also true, but is he playing well because he's playing regular football and he didn't go on international break?
That's true.
Controversially,
apparently he was sick.
I tell you, I thought Rice was great against Bournemouth, but I'd take him out of the team for this because he's played a lot of football for England. He just had to play as like one of the only 2 midfielders who's... Rice and Partey were the only 2 I felt were like leaving it all on the pitch against
Rice
Bournemouth.
was unbelievable.
So I say, thank you for the shift. You are starting against Liverpool, no question. But now let's have a straight shootout between Marino and Partey in this game. I think that'd be fascinating.
And who's the third midfielder for you then?
Well, Waneri's knocking on that door.
Oh!
He absolutely is. I do feel that we are... And I know Tross had a shocker with that pass back. But I feel like we're in danger of kind of disrespecting Trossard for like the 1 or 2 things he gets wrong and forgetting the like 6, 7, 8 things he does brilliantly. This season alone, he won us the game at Villa Park. This season alone, he won us the game here against Leicester. What with his second goal, but then the third that basically, own goal, but you get my point. He was man of the match here at home against PSG. He plays 1 bad back pass, and he was bad on the day. And well, he's got to be taken out of the team now. What's difficult is Waneri he's pushing. Every time he comes on the pitch, you go, I can't believe this guy isn't playing. If he were 20 and not 17, you'd play him. The quality, there's nothing there's nothing he seems to be missing in terms of his cameos when he's playing the game. So clearly it's something to do with age or maturity or whatever it is that Arteta doesn't feel quite comfortable with. But notwithstanding that, it's Trossard who is still this season, despite, you know, his start against Brighton, he wasn't great, and, you know, the error the other day. But largely, I think Trossard is doing enough to still deserve his place in the 10 for me.
Okay, so Marino, Partey and Trossard for you.
That would be my 3, yeah.
Marino, Rice and Trossard for me, because I think a lot of the sentiment you said about Trossard I agree with, and I think he's better in the 10. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Keep him there. And I want to see him there. I do want to see him there against Liverpool. Ethan Nwaneri, I wouldn't mind if he does start, because then against Liverpool, I want Trossard to start. But then I expect Ethan Nwaneri
I would love
to
it. I would love it. That would be a big statement from Arteta.
It would be.
It would, I think, reignite the Emirates.
Midfield for you, the midfield 3.
Yeah, Mourinho, Partey and Nwaneri.
Okay.
I think the Shakhtar game, and listen, I don't want to sound contradictory because here I am saying, look, you know, play your strongest team, blah, blah, blah. But I think he's been playing so well and been getting cameos here and there. I think the Shakhtar game, it's at home, it's a perfect opportunity to give him some football. And listen, if he does well, again, he'll be pushing for a start against Liverpool. Even if he doesn't start, it's very likely that he'll get minutes. So listen, let's play him. Let's play him. Man.
Okay, and then for the front 3, I'm going to put Bukayo Saka right wing. I'm going to put Havertz up top, and I'm going to put Sterling on Martinelli left. Boy, Martinelli, that big chance, brother. And it feels harsh, but I think I'm going to start Sterling. I think he done okay. I think fans are going a bit overboard of how good Sterling was in that performance.
I thought he played well before he got taken.
He did
off.
fine. Yeah,
I think he did all right, but again, I spoke about his defensive work, and I think it needs looked at, and also, I think going forward he was okay, but I think defensively he wasn't as sound.
The defensive side of his game's never been his strongest asset.
It's something you need in this Arsenal team, though.
Yeah, exactly. But again, I do think that a game like this, I think he should play.
Okay.
I thought he looked quite bright against Bournemouth, to be honest.
We'll get your front 3. But Bukayo Saka, the reason why I'm saying him as well is because when I was I have a source, not going to mention who it is, but a very reliable source, and they said he's fine. He actually was rested for the Bournemouth game, so he should be available, and I expect to see him on Tuesday, and hopefully we'll see him on the weekend as well.
That's bold, if that's true.
Yeah, very good source. But anyway, your front 3.
You know what I was just saying about Trossard? Like, it's easy to forget that Martinelli came off against Southampton and got the second goal that effectively won us that game too. So, like, I'm in danger. I'm worried about sort of seeing Trossard make the mistake and Martinelli making the mistake and going, out the team for Sterling, who hasn't done anything in an Arsenal shirt yet. And I think he will. I like Sterling, very good player, but he hasn't yet. Having said that, I would start Martinelli against Liverpool no matter what.
Yeah, agreed.
Because Martinelli now, you know, if he doesn't start this game, Martinelli's 3 Arsenal games in a row without starting. It's kind of easy to forget that. But I would go Sterling for this one again, because I would just try get some minutes in him, and Martinelli would 100% have his place in the Liverpool 11 for me. So
are you going to the same 3?
Yeah, Havertz, Saka and Sterling on the left.
I think you do the conversation that you said, like, look, on Saturday you'll be playing, or Sunday, so you'll be playing, you know, the full 90, you can say for
you say it to Martinelli, we said to Rice.
And you get a few minutes. You get a few minutes on Tuesday, Martinelli as well. You come off the bench. Your front 3.
I agree with James, Havertz, Saka and Sterling. The reason why I say Sterling is because, as I said, I thought he was looking bright before he got taken off. Obviously that was precipitated by the sending off, and I think he needs minutes. And I think I saw little signs on Saturday that he was starting to click into this Arsenal team, so it was a great shame to see him get taken off. Give him another chance on Tuesday and see how he goes.
All right, people. Well, that's it for our Predicts 11. That's it for the preview. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How you feeling ahead of this game? How you feeling over the hangover of the Bournemouth game? And let us know if you agree with our predicted 11s. Like the video if you like the video, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care.